Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. Oh boy, short week, got a lot to get done, and I have it on good authority, Jordan JC.
Here we go.
And Kyle Shanahan goes down to the San Francisco Zoo and ostracizes orangutan.
No.
Can't trust him. Can't trust this guy, man. Absolute animal. Get him out of there, man. I'm sick of it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. We got a lot to get into on today's episode. There is a surprising new odds-on favorite to be the Chicago Bears head coach next year. Also, got to take a look at where Thomas Brown ranks on that list. Most Bears fans interested in where Thomas Brown will rank on that list, and will he go up and or down on that list after this Lions game? And the Lions game on Thursday, which means early keys to a Chicago Bears victory. 3 key players to a Bears victory. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Hey. Technically, we don't be wrong, and then like flooses it up.
Yeah, he messes it up.
All that and more on today's episode, man. The date is 11/26/2024. It's 7:02 in the morning, and Crimson asked the question of the day. Is Flus fired yet? Let's go. Let's go. Big vibes. Big vibes. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's enough. Too much party. It's only a Tuesday. JC. It just feels like a Wednesday, Thursday.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Woo! Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, but just in case you don't, Sue Young, what do you got for him?
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Push the button. Stop playing around with us, man. What's going on, JC? I seem a little Mikeless.
I don't want to talk about it. I was
okay,
at the studio yesterday, so I got to yell. I don't know how I sound, but hey, I'm yelling today.
That's a good thing you live alone. My poor family, they just used to be yelling. They could just sleep through it. Yeah.
God.
Oh, man. We got a lot to get into on today's episode, man, because Bovada dropping a brand new odds-on favorite for the Chicago Bears. Now, I'll run from the bottom of the list to the top of the list because this list is it's an interesting list of names on here. Some of the guys on the bottom of this list, to me, you can stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah, I'm not a big Brian Flores for the next Bears head coach guy. He's coming in at the bottom 1,600 on this list. Drew Petzing from the Cardinals coming in plus 1,000. Josh McCown. Is that McCown? Is that supposed to be McCown? I think that's supposed to be McCown.
I didn't know it was
plus 950. Mike Vrabel coming in at plus 950. Kellen Moore coming in at plus 900. Liam Cohen coming in at plus 700 from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Aaron Glenn coming in at plus 700. Thomas Brown just above him at plus 600. He's coming in third on the list right now for many people out there. Number 2 on the list is Ben Johnson at plus 400. And the number 1 candidate for the Chicago Bears right now, the odds-on favorite per Bovada, is Joe Brady from the Buffalo Bills. Little bit surprised there.
Yeah.
That Joe Brady has moved that far up the list. But I will say this. I mean, listen, we see that offense that the Bills are able to run. I think realistically speaking, you would love a guy like that in the building. it just feels like a big jump. Very young head coach. If he would be the Chicago Bears' next head coach, only 35 years old for Joe Brady. That doesn't mean as much anymore. You see a lot of young head coaches in the in the league right now. So the age thing doesn't mean as much anymore. We've kind of gotten away from that stigma, but it's just surprising to me because I feel like he wasn't somebody who was on the list of names that was really there anyway. You know what I mean? Like before we get here, and now it feels like that name is really skyrocketed up. The more the Bills continue to win, the Bills look phenomenal. The offense looks great. He hasn't really been there for the development of Josh Allen. That is my fear with this, JC, is that if Joe Brady right now is the odds-on favorite for the Chicago Bears to go out there and win, how much are you benefiting from the fact that Josh Allen already knows what the heck he's doing?
See, that's the thing. And I don't want to go down this road again because it'll give me PTSD of having the shiny new toy again that's just attached to an offense that pretty much has already been doing what it's been doing for a while now. Josh Allen has been a great quarterback in the league for some years now. And so if you're telling me that the Brady Bunch is at the top of the list, I am not for it because it will remind me of getting Luke Getsy thinking that, because he was attached to Aaron Rodgers, that must have meant, oh my goodness, this guy's mind. He has a mind for the game. He's offensively just a genius, because he's connected to number 12 on Green Bay. And that was just not the case. Aaron Rodgers was already established in the league. Aaron Rodgers already was a guy who was very confident in knowing what he wanted to do out there in the field, had command of the offense, had command of everything. And so you literally saw him get rid of a coach this past year. So that, like Luke Getsy was just, it was an overthought. You went for a guy who you thought was just creative, and he messed your quarterback that you had up previously in Justin Fields. I don't want to go down that road again of getting the shiny new toy that seemingly looks like, it's making Josh Allen look good. Josh Allen already looked good. So for my marbles, I'm not putting him at the top of the list. He's already crossed off for me. I'm not understanding why Ben Johnson isn't number one.
Well, I mean, I think here's the thing, though. The one thing I will give him is you kind of are turning this offense around right after you get rid of one of your best pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You move on from Stephon Diggs. That's the major piece that you really want to have out there, right? Now all of a sudden he's not out there. Now Josh Allen's getting the football to everybody. But I agree with you. 12th ranked offense right now. I believe last year they finished with the 9th ranked offense in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like you took a little bit of a step back, but realistically speaking, this is an offense that was already rolling. Now, the thing that he does get a lot of credit for is the work that he did with Joe Burrow in college. And how that all panned out. But it's just it's tough for me to go down the path of, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, and maybe this is just me. All the coordinators are out for me. I don't want Ben Johnson either. The dude down there at plus 950. Let me get him. Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, I knew
now,
that was
I feel like Vrabel is kind of he's going to step straight in to a situation. Yeah, I mean, like listen, the scumbag that's out in San Francisco, you know what I mean? If they end up moving on from him, the animal that's out there, you know what I mean? Let me get him.
Wreaking havoc.
But the thing for me is I don't want to go the coordinator route again. Because coordinators can coordinate. That does not mean that they can be head coaches. For all the people that are out there and they're like, look what Cliff Kingsbury's doing. We should get him as head coach. You're insane. We watched this experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, maybe people do get better. Maybe people do learn from their previous experiments and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that can't happen. It happened with Bill Belichick, who's literally turned into the greatest coach of all time. But let's be real. Cliff Kingsbury looks exactly like the Cliff Kingsbury that left Arizona and had to go back to college. He looked exactly like the guy who you ended up basically figuring out his offense, which is kind of happening now. Like everybody's like, oh, he's literally just throwing to that guy. That guy's really good, but he's just throwing to that guy. Maybe we should just cover that guy.
Yeah.
Like, you see these same things, and I love that these head coaching cycles come back around, and all of a sudden it's like a clean slate on everything that we already knew that happened. No, I'm not getting fooled by it. I'm not saying that Ben Johnson isn't a good leader of men. I'm not saying that Joe Brady can't be a good leader of men, but the coordinator thing does not entice me that much anymore, because I don't know what the answer is on these guys. And guess what? They're in situations that were already great. Now, Ben Johnson, I think, is a little bit different. He's the number 2 odds favorite on this plus 400. He's a little bit different because he built the situation, or he had a hand in building the situation that helped him be great. You know what I mean? Like that, I do think is very, very different. Having a hand in building the situation that's helping you to be great, I think makes a different situation, just because he built he was there for the offensive line being built. He was there for, hey, let's go out and get Jahmyr Gibbs. He was there, which listen, I'm still not drafting him that high, but he was there for, hey, let's go out and sign David Montgomery. I'm going to figure out how to use these guys. Let's go get Amon-Ra St. Brown later down in the draft, because I can figure out how to turn this guy into a superstar. Like, he was there for that whole process. So I get Ben Johnson a little bit more just on the construction side of it. But then again, it's like, okay, well, I get him on constructing the team, but is he going to have a say-so in who the Bears go out and get? How much of a voice is he going to have with the Chicago Bears team? Maybe he has a little bit more because he's got more common sense than Flus, but
that's not that easy. That's not that hard.
Hey, we threw the challenge flag because it was an explosive play. Ain't that right, Crusher?
Oh,
ain't that right, Razor?
I never want to hear that again.
69-yard play, you throw a challenge flag. On what? What are you challenging? I don't know.
Because it was a lot of yards.
It was a lot of yards. Yeah, be careful. That's the most, like, me and my brother used to play Madden, and we used to just be like, challenge it, F it. Like, what's going to happen? Like, that was the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life, bro. Shout out to Paulie G. He said, well, Josh Allen is having the most efficient year, especially as far as interceptions go, but Ben Johnson also had a stacked roster too, so it's hard to know how good he is. Vrabel at least knows how to lead men and pick a good staff. Yeah, and I think here's the thing too, right? With Josh Allen, I do agree. Josh Allen's been balling this season. There's no doubt about it. Like, you can't, and if we're being real, clear-cut MVP right now.
Yeah.
I guess
he's up there. He's up there.
I guess maybe Saquon has entered the chat.
Saquon definitely has entered the chat. Maybe
Saquon has entered the chat. Usually you win with a quarterback though. But 18 passing touchdowns. That's only tied for 6th in the NFL. 5 interceptions. He is having a pretty efficient season here. Last season was 29 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. So definitely helped him get the interceptions numbers down. But again, I say this, and I don't know if this is most efficient season. He's also had a 35 and 14 touchdown to interception season. But I do think he's playing some of his best football. I will agree there, Paul. But I also want to point out, we've seen that experiment happen again with the Bears. We talked about it with a coordinator who left here and got another job, got 2 jobs just because he got Jay Cutler to throw less picks.
Yeah.
That didn't make him a good head coach. And he was sitting there just remember the press conference for Adam Gase in New York when he was like high out of his mind? I don't know if he was actually high, but
he just seemed like it.
No, he was like standing there just like,
he's got those beady eyes.
I was like, yo, is the edible kicking my man's butt right now? Like, what's happening right now? But no, to me, I don't know if I made him a more efficient quarterback is a good enough argument, because he's been efficient and in his career. Guess what? I think moving Stephon Diggs out of there and him not having I have to get the ball to you wide receiver probably does a little bit more for him being efficient. I can spread it around. I can make the right read. I'm not trying to force it to Stephon. That's why the ball's not going the other way. Like, I don't know if I'm there. And listen, I'm the same way with Thomas Brown right now, JC. Like, I've said it multiple times. Maybe he can't be the head coach. I don't know that. I know he can call offensive plays. He definitely should be an OC. But I don't know if he's the head coach material. And I feel the same way about Joe Brady. I feel the same way about Ben Johnson.
Well, I think at the very least, you already got a guy in the building that you can build with. That's why I'm okay with Thomas Brown maybe being the front runner for me outside of anybody with the actual experience at head coach already. Like you mentioned, I'm fine with Vrabel coming in here. I'm surprised there isn't any more experience on this list when it comes to head coaching. That's what I want. We've already seen this carousel of getting the new guy that seemingly looks like he's got the offense down packed for whatever team he's on, and he's just going to be this new mind for the game. We've gone down that road a couple times and have failed. We've just literally failed. And then, of course, you have the Brian Flores, who we just played. We already know what he does on defense, but we got a guy now in Matt Eberflus who's very good as a defensive coordinator.
He has been a head coach before.
He's been a head coach. He was a head coach in Miami. I understand. But things happen, unfortunately. But at the same time, I understand that he also probably is a good leader of men as well, the way he carries himself. But I feel like if it was my choice, it's either going to be between Vrabel. I am going to put Belichick in there because I don't know why people keep thinking they're overlooking Belichick. If he wants to come back to coach, I would love to get him in the building because you clearly know he's a leader of men. He's a guy that can kind of change an organization if allowed. And Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown is already here. And so the players already respect him. The players already have a continuity with him. There's a chemistry already in the locker room that you're building off of from week to week. And so they see and they trusted a guy already in the building that probably has better leadership skills than the head coach that's trying to lead them now. And so that's why I'm okay with our specific OC having a chance at being the interim or the next head coach. I have no problem with that.
Now, here's the biggest question that I do have. Because to me, I wonder, because we're saying this like we get the pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're saying this like, Joe Brady's we got Joe Brady. We got Ben Johnson. We got Thomas Brown. And then we're going to take Ohio. And then we're going to take Nevada. Yeah. We're saying this
what happened to that guy?
Well, he never ran for president again.
Oh, great meme.
Remember the days when making a weird noise could make you lose a presidency? Now we got a guy that grunts every time he freaking like, what a great guy. I love this guy. Beautiful guy. Phenomenal guy. The Chicago Bears podcast. Amazing pod.
Oh, beautiful. Listen every day. Listen all the time.
Kyle Shanahan. He's got his money in China.
Get rid of that guy in San Fran.
Get rid of him. Are the Chicago Bears are they the gem of the coaching opportunities? With everything we know about the McCaskies, with everything we know about, I mean, listen, this list kind of speaks to what I feel like we read in the Athletic article that talks about kind of them wanting to have more of a strong front office than them wanting to have a strong head coach, right? Or a big voiced head coach, a head coach that is the personality. Like, are the Bears the gem of the hiring classes? Now, I will say team wise, probably.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. When I hear Cliff Kingsbury go, we heard you interview with the Bears for the OC opportunity. What happened with that? No chance. Let me tell you something. yeah, they're gonna fire my
tough day at the job.
Oh, you hear Cliff Kingsbury wanted this job? He's doing so well.
Oh my goodness! No,
like I really wonder that. Like we're just assuming. I mean, you think about the teams that are gonna have head coaching vacancies. Let's run through them real quick, or at least teams we're pretty sure are gonna. I mean, the Jets already do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess nobody's going to the Jets. The Patriots, maybe the Patriots.
I feel like they give him another shot.
They might give him another year. And Drake May is improving, and that team is dog water. But I also think they have a terrible offensive coordinator, terrible defensive coordinator, terrible team. So I get why they're 3-8. Broncos, nobody's going anywhere. Is Antonio Pierce out of there with the Raiders? Maybe Antonio Pierce is out of there with the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a situation. If they get Shadur Sanders, right? Maybe that's a situation.
Maybe Brian Daboll.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I'm just saying if they get Shadur, do people want to go there because you want to develop the young quarterback? You want to build something that's with an organization that, listen, Mark Davis will spend money. He'll be like, oh, what we doing? We all in on offensive line?
Yeah.
$8 billion. There you go. Hey, have at it. I want to win. The Browns feels like Vrabel kind of would end up there because he's already there. But like, do you really want to be in a situation where your best option is Jameis Winston? The Titans probably roll one more year with their guy. Jaguars is done.
Jaguars
I would assume,
is open
but why would you want to go to the Jaguars?
Yeah, because they might be revamping that thing.
Like, and you got that Trevor Lawrence contract over your head.
Yep. That's a bad place.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's not a nice destination.
And then you look, I mean, I will say this too, a team that's maybe a little dark horse here, but if the Bengals stay the course the way they're going, maybe the Bengals end up getting Zach Taylor out of there. Bengals to me is a little bit more of a gem, except for the fact that you've never built an offensive line. And I don't know if maybe that's their curse right now, that they can't build offensive lines when they find the superstar quarterback. But I don't think T. Higgins is sticking around there. Where are you magically going to find this money for Jamar Chase?
Not a question.
Like, it sounds good. Like, oh, we got all these pieces. We got T. Higgins. We got Jamar Chase. Like, you didn't sign the contract.
Yeah.
Where's this magical money going to come? You know what I mean? Like, it's not how they got some operational dysfunction in there. So that'll be interesting to see. I mean, you got the Giants job. Maybe the Giants job is interesting. They're going to get a rookie quarterback. I think they've already got a wide receiver. I think they've got solid O-line pieces. They've been a little bit banged up this year. I like the running back situation there. The defense is kind of like the Giants to me is a better job than here. Maybe a little more work to do. But I'm assuming they're cleaning house.
No,
the 49ers job, that animal cow shit.
Oh, boy, yeah, that's going to be an open slot for sure.
And then you got the Panthers job. Well, yeah, I'm not fooled by Bryce Young being like
competent.
Yeah, I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can see jobs that are better than where the Bears are. I don't know if they're all better. But like I'd go to New York before I came to Chicago just off of the relationship I'm gonna have to deal with the McCaskies.
You'd rather deal with Aaron Rodgers than McCaskey. New
York Giants.
The Giants. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Ooh, wow. Man, that's desperate.
I'm getting a quarterback.
I don't know. I feel like the Chicago Bears have one of the most favorable situations. I won't say they're at the top either. But I mean, if you're talking about switching out OCs constantly, I do like that super chat from Paul just a minute ago about having a relationship with Caleb already. Just imagine if we were to go out and have to get another OC, that would be 3 OCs in the span of a year. That is insanity.
Yep.
That is insanity.
But at this point, but you can't shy away from it just because of that, though.
Yeah, I guess, but then we'd be talking about, well, where's the consistency at? Like for me, if Caleb Williams says, you know what, I'm getting comfortable and I respect Thomas Brown to the point that, if they get rid of everybody, are they getting rid of Thomas Brown too? He's not going to just stay here if Eberflus and his whole squad is, because Eberflus technically picked him, right?
No, but I think what would happen is, because listen, what what I saw last week, my expectation is that the offense will continue to look competent. My thing is not that Thomas Brown would leave just because Matt Eberflus left. My thing is Thomas Brown would leave if you picked somebody else, because he's probably going to get a head coaching opportunity.
Oh,
when you make the Bears look better offensively, you usually get jobs. Like, it's just usually what comes to it. Shout out Crizzy Cross. Said, just curious, but do y'all think the Bears would look at any NCAA football coaches? I read the Bears should scope out Notre Dame's Marcus Freeman, who is also a former Bears player. Thoughts?
I'm good on that.
I think the coaching candidate this year is too good in the NFL. The crop of coaches that are NFL coaches already is too good for you to go to the college ranks, but the Bears will do anything. I have no answers on that. By the way, we've just been letting that get by us. Over 100 in a check. Over 200 in a check. Over 300 in a check. 300.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal. I said these are not his plays that Thomas is running. That's facts. But he's running them well, which tells me that he can run a play.
Yeah.
That he knows what he's doing. So, but I do wonder if the Bears situation is the best situation for them to be in, where you can say, we've got pick of the litter here. We can go get Mike Vrabel if we throw the money. We can go get Liam Cohen. We can go get Kellen Moore. We can go get Joe Brady. Like, who's to say those guys want to come here?
That's another thing. Yeah. Is the feeling mutual? Like, do they see what's going on here and say, I don't know if I want to touch that. I got better opportunities elsewhere with better up-and-coming teams. So I don't know. That's another thing that's part of the question is, all these guys that you think are going to be available, are they going to be available, one, and are they actually interested in this job? We knew that Ben Johnson last year was, but is he going to be interested this year? With everything going on in Detroit and as successful as they probably will be this in the playoffs, is he willing to come here still if that vacancy opens up? So a lot of question marks.
A lot of question marks on this team. I think that's pretty much the theme of the Chicago Bears. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Y'all giving us that Matt Eberflus energy in this mug right now. Also drop a hashtag #FireFlus in this mug just because. Appreciate y'all for showing love, man. Let's keep this thing moving along because we do have to talk about, this is a short week, JC.
It is.
Short week. Games on Thursday. It's kind of like, all right, let's get this out of the way. I'm kind of glad that this is a Thursday game. You know what I mean? Like, got to talk about our 3 key players to a Chicago Bears victory. But first, we're going to take a quick break, listening to a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back right after this. And Kyle Shanahan, you stop playing with penguins.
Oh, boy.
Devilish. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have 1 or 2 of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of The Morning Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're just talking about the surprising odds-on favorite to be the Chicago Bears' next head coach. And, yeah, Relentless Mikey, I heard that too. I've heard that Kyle Shanahan does leave the back door open.
Yeah.
Get him out of there, man. He's lost that locker room. He's lost that locker room. Too many doors left open in that building. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm putting down? You picking up what I'm putting down?
I guess.
You smelling what I'm stepping?
I got you.
Oh, man. Listen, on a short week, we got the Detroit Lions coming up. This is not going to be a fun day. The Bears take on Detroit this coming Thursday. Detroit has been eviscerating teams. I do think the game will be closer than we think it's going to be, but I still think that we will end up on the losing end. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where we know we're losing the entire way through. But we got to talk about our three key players to a Chicago Bears victory in this situation. JC, who's your number one key player to a Chicago Bears victory?
Oh boy.
All
right, let's try to be positive here. So my first player that is going to be, oh boy, I don't know if we're going to do anything coming on Turkey Day. My first player to a Chicago Bears victory over the Detroit Lions is going to be Tremaine Edmunds. This is a guy who has not really made his name. He hasn't been loud as much as I would like to have, for the season. He hasn't really produced as much as we thought he would. A lot of times it takes him maybe a season or two to kind of get acclimated to a system. And, he kind of, sprouted a little bit in Buffalo after that. So that's what I thought he would do here. But kind of a quiet season. However, with that being said, I think that he will have to have a good game along with Edwards. I'll say the linebacking core in general.
Yeah.
In order to kind of stop this run game, because David Montgomery, even though I believe he was injured during the last part of the last game, I think he'll be good to go for this Thursday. I don't foresee him missing this game at all, obviously, because it's also a pride thing against his former team. They got to try to find a way to stop Montgomery and Gibbs. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not saying they have a good chance of it. I don't feel too confident, but those linebackers, they're capable of covering a lot of area. They're good in coverage. They're good in blitz. So I need them to be on, just their best game. Focus in, tap in, because the middle of our line is a little weak without Billings, who's gone down for the season. We need you guys as that kind of last line of defense when it comes to these running backs running rampant all over the Bears. So I'm looking at our linebacking core and saying those are essentially those are the first kind of paired key players for me.
Yeah, and listen, my only problem with it is, are we going to see Matt Eberflus put them in the position to actually go out there and do something on that level? You know what I mean? Are we going to see them blitzing? Are we going to see them in run stuffing opportunities? Can they stop the running back 5 yards back? Yeah, sure. I'm sure that they're going to be fine with that. I like the Tremaine Edmunds take just because he has been somebody who, listen, opportunities have been there. He hasn't made those plays. And that's the difference between the men and the boys in this league, right? Like, not to say that he's been bad. He just hasn't been good.
Yeah.
He's just kind of been there. You know what I mean? Play last week, ball hits him dead in the hands. You got to pick that off. That's got to be going the other way. Like that, those are the moments that turn you into one of those elite linebackers in Chicago Bears history. And You know, not to say I'm holding him to the standard of Urlacher. You know what I mean? Like that's not a fair standard to hold him to. But
No.
you are trying to see more out of him. I mean, listen, I guess as the quarterback of the defense, you do like how he's quarterbacked it for most of the season. And as they lost pieces, it's kind of fallen off a little bit here. But it's just you too often forget he's on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you too often forget, oh yeah, he is out there. He is somebody that can make impact plays. He is somebody who can go out there and get after the quarterback. Like, and maybe that's on Flus not sending them that, because a lot of times, listen, I love when they blitz Tremaine Edmonds. I think he does a great job getting into the backfield, especially on run plays and wraps up the running back. I think he's really good at those things, but we spend so much time rushing for playing a passive style of defense. I don't think he gets as involved. My number one key player in this game, this has to be, and I hate to do this because I'm really just sick of the whole experiment already. I don't think it's gone well, but everybody else, the one big play a game makes everybody believe it's gone well.
You watch it.
DeAndre Swift got to show
up. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
DeAndre Swift has to show up.
Say it proud.
And it has to be in the running back capacity.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm glad that you got a running back that can catch passes and can make plays and has a little bit of wiggle, but I need DeAndre Swift to get active on the ground.
Get active.
That opens things up for Caleb Williams. That opens things up for the play action pass. Like DeAndre Swift was dead last week. And I get it. You're going up against the number one defense against the run, but I'm sorry. That's not an excuse. Like, you're the running back. You're the $8 million guy. You're the guy that gets shifty and supposed to get upfield. You're the guy that's supposed to make people miss. How about make people miss? Like, yeah, I need to see it. We went out and paid all this money for a running back for absolutely no reason. And you're not giving me a skill set as a running back. It's too many games this season where we've talked about DeAndre Swift being under 50 rushing yards.
Kind of coming up short. Yeah.
Like, I can't have a running back who's constantly under 50 rushing yards. It's just, you got to be better, man. You got to be better. And I don't think that he's been good enough running the football this season. He's fine as a receiver, but he's also only had one 70-yard receiving day. He's also only had one big receiving day. That was back in like week 2 or week 3.
Yeah, I think that was a game where it was like 70 yards, 70 rushes.
Yeah, he's over 100 yards from scrimmage. You're like, oh my God, this is the guy we wanted. And then that guy never showed up again.
Yeah.
You got to have a day. You open things up for Caleb Williams.
I like that.
I need to see more out of DeAndre Swift in this game. He's my number one key.
I like that key. I mean, you know, I like my running backs. I do. Will I'll say?
Yeah, you paid $15 million for him.
Well, I mean, if it's Saquon Barkley, I would love to see Saquon Barkley in this offense right now. You dang right. But I mean, as far as DeAndre Swift goes, yes, you are right. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I haven't seen it. He hasn't performed up to what we thought he would be, because it looks different than the offensive line in Philly. Like, you know, I mean, look at what Saquon's doing with the talent he already has. He's having an MVP type year. With the caliber of a back like DeAndre Swift, you still need a great line in order for him to be a good running back as far as pure running back skills go. But because we don't have that, you've only seen him show up when there's been maybe that one explosive play that he's gotten off. Or like you said, when the ball is—
there's always one to make the stats look good.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But with that being said, I would hope that they use, which I don't know why they didn't go to him a little bit more last game, use a little bit more Rojo. Let's go Rojo, because you know you're going to need a back that's going to have to get hard yardage against this defense. This defense is not going to just allow easy yards on the ground. And so, you know, that's where you bring in your back that's going to get you those tough games. those 3rd and 1s where you just get the first and keep it moving, the red zone. So hopefully that happens. But my second key to a Bears victory over the Detroit Lions, as I'm looking at the stats, they're very similar to the Minnesota Vikings stats. Very, very pesky in the run defense, but you have a chance to kind of take advantage of them in the pass game. And so what I want to see is obviously my key player being Caleb Williams again, going to those, maybe having to throw for 30 to 40 times again. And hopefully, have the same kind of stat line, 300 plus yards. Heck, I'll take 250 plus yards with 2 or more touchdowns, just so that we can know that, hey, we're in this game. Now, does that mean that maybe the Bears will still get blown out? What would you say, 60 to 30? I don't know. We'll see. But I would love to see that same passing game thrown out there from Thomas Brown and Caleb. Throw to your stars. Get DJ Moore involved in that short pass game where he's getting yardage up the field and good blocking schemes. Like get Keenan Allen the ball as a safety net again. Go back to that. That was working. You just got to make sure that he's sure-handed. He's dropped a few passes that I'm surprised at. Get Cole Kmet more involved. Get those 10 receptions again. Repeat that same pattern is what I want to see in this game, because this is a team that's going to kill you on offense in so many different ways. You have an efficient quarterback in Jared Goff who doesn't really throw a ball and intercept a lot. You have a power run game in David Montgomery. You have a speed run game in Jahmyr Gibbs. You got a possession receiver and a speed receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Sam Laporta. You got everybody over there.
Listen, I'm going to hit you with a hard take.
That wasn't that bad. That's a hard take. Come on. Nah, don't do that.
Just in case.
Nah.
I don't think Jared Goff throws the football 20 times.
He doesn't need to. That's the thing.
I don't know if Jared Goff throws the football 15 times.
You're going down, boy.
If I'm Dan Campbell, I am turning around and I am handing the football off 79 times in this game.
Oh, my goodness. Is that not a record?
I am literally running Gibbs and Monty in and out every play. Just Lord. Keep swapping. Keep them fresh, boys. Keep them fresh, because they are going to run down your throat the entire day. And there is nothing the Chicago Bears can do to stop it.
Oh, boy.
If I'm Dan Campbell, I do it just off of principle. Just to make sure. Because here's the thing. The one thing that we all kept saying was, well, Jared Goff doesn't play well outside, which I don't know if that myth has been broken or not. But Jared Goff doesn't play well outside. He doesn't throw the football well. He's going to throw turnovers. He's going to give you opportunities. It keeps the Bears in it. Nope. Gibbs. Go. Up, Monty, your turn. Go. Up, Gibbs, get back in there, though. Go. Bro, I'm telling you.
Jesus.
I would if I don't gamble. But if I had to place a bet on something, I would bet that both Monty and Gibbs go for over 100 yards.
This could be the worst game outside of Arizona for the Bears run defense. I mean, it could be even worse than that. They
last week wasn't good.
Yeah, last week wasn't good either. We'll see. I mean, that's the key for me is Caleb. But my goodness, yeah, he has to keep up with this high octane offense. So we'll see if he can do it. I just need to see again continued growth from him.
Yeah, my second key. Give me DJ Moore. DJ,
all right,
let's go.
Right.
Let's keep it going. I love what we unlocked with DJ Moore last week. I thought that was fun. I thought that DJ Moore finally got into it. He was used in a multitude of ways. Give me a little pass game as well. I like that. A little closer. A little underthrown there by DJ. He gave me a better ball. Could have gave me a better ball. It was a PI. I want to see him fight through that. Rome, you got to hands up, fight through that. You know what I mean? Arms in the air, fight through that. But I think that DJ Moore just brings a lot to the table, and there's no way that you even are remotely competitive if you don't get him heavily involved in this game. What we saw from him last week, I thought was some of the best stuff we've seen from him. And here's the thing, the Lions will blow a tackle. That's the guy that you want to put in a position for them to blow that tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of guy that you have there. So utilize him as much as possible.
Oh yeah, DJ Moore is a very good one. Go back to the Maryland days, the way that Maryland, whatever, however you want to say.
Why do you call it Maryland?
I always say Maryland, like I spell it out.
Go back to the Maryland days. Oh, the world of Mary Poppins. Welcome into Maryland. There's always endless bags and spoons full of sugar.
Flowers and gold and all things nice. Yes, the Maryland days where he was just getting the ball early and you being used as a running back. I mean, if that's how you got to use them that way if it's working. But yeah, no, good key. My last and final key to a Bears victory over the Detroit Lions.
No,
I was going to be silly and say feed them turkey before the game, because doesn't turkey have tryptophan in it? Where, like, don't you get sleepy off of turkey or something? Like, make sure somebody feeds the Lions some turkey or something. But no, the player that I think is going to be pivotal, and again, I need this guy to kind of get out of his head. He's had a few, I won't say dud performances, but I feel like he feels he could have done better, is Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson, kind of put himself and kind of was hard on himself when he fell down on that Christian Watson pass in the Green Bay game. And then there were a few times where he got taken advantage of in the game, against the Vikings versus Justin Jefferson. You knew that was going to happen. However, overall, he had a very good game. Justin didn't really score a lot. They clearly were keying in on him. They were double teaming him. But Jalen Johnson in particular, I'm pretty sure he thinks that himself, he wishes he had better games against those two players. So now you have a chance, if you're going up against one-on-one against Amon-Ra or whoever you're going up against, to kind of make sure you shut down that side of the field again. Now, I don't know if he's going to be following Amon-Ra, but in those moments where he's playing one-on-one against him, make sure that you're dominating him. And, that's a different type of star from Justin Jefferson. So maybe there's a little bit more of an easier, coverage with him, but you just got to make sure that you take care of business this
yeah, I don't think there's easier coverage with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's kind of a dog too, but
oh boy. No,
but listen, it's gonna be a bad situation for the Bears right here. I'm telling you, dog. Amon-Ra's gonna be bored.
Charlie.
Amon-Ra's gonna be bored. Howdy, partner. Checking Charlie O'Rourke lives in Maryland.
That's funny, man. Hey,
my third and final key player to a Chicago Bears victory in this game. For the love of God.
Oh boy.
For the love of God. Braxton Jones. You got to stand up. You got to stand up. Now, I will say this, and this is why I've got him as my key for this game. Braxton Jones in the last game, solid game. You saw how different that made the offensive line. Still moments where he's getting pushed back. Still absolutely moments where he's getting run through. They're not gone. They're not gone.
Oh.
But when you're talking about him, like literally the line is based off its weakest link. Mm-hmm. I saw the best offensive line play that I've seen out of the Chicago Bears last week, and I thought that it was Braxton Jones' best game of the season. I thought that still a couple of moments, the one where Grenard gets around him, and then he gets to the quarterback. But you can see the difference in the offensive line when the left side of it isn't just absolutely collapsing. Now, Tevin Jenkins played a big part in that as well. Staying healthy the whole game, actually being able to stay out there. I think that makes a big difference. I don't know. I would go with Tevin Jenkins as my key, but I can't pick Tevin Jenkins to stay healthy. The one thing that I did see in that game, though, was I thought Braxton Jones actually had some pretty good technique in that game. I thought he set a better base. I thought that especially in the run game, he was getting out ahead and laying people out. There was a lot of good that I saw out of Braxton Jones. Now, I don't expect that to be consistent. I don't think it's something he can do every week, but if he can do it this week, I think it keeps things moving in the right direction offensively for the Chicago Bears. And you got to keep it. You got to keep it up. So that's why he's my key. I'm not thrilled by it.
That's a good key.
A lot of bad players in the keys this week.
A lot of bad players. Got to rely on our team, though. We got stay positive, Pat. Matt Aberflus.
That's kind of how Buddy looked, actually.
Oh, God.
Hey, man, let's get up out of here, JC. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know your 3 keys to a Chicago Bears victory over the Detroit Lions. Chrissy Cross, we will still be hosting a watch party. I don't know if we'll be in the studio or not, but we will still be hosting a watch party. So Thursday.
Yeah,
So what? I don't know. Be in studio, maybe. Maybe we'll be in studio. Maybe we'll see. Roads will be empty.
Yeah, that's true.
Roads will be empty. But appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bed down, one love, and this might get ugly. Peace.
Oh boy. Yes. Oh yeah. Please hashtag Fire Flus.
Hashtag Fire Flus in the chat.
The best show for Chicago sports.